So now we are actually live. So it will record our side conversations as well.
Oh no!
So,
Welcome back.
Yeah, welcome back after 6 whole weeks of me being unavailable.
Well, that's 8 for me then.
Well,
Is
8
this
for
the main
you,
master
yes.
roll?
No, you roll the one that's like a coin.
So
right.
unfortunately, I ended up losing the ability to speak when I got flu just for 4 packs.
Oh, wonderful!
And then I got bronchial asthma coming back from packs.
Brilliant.
So at least I didn't get COVID, which was a surprise. I was expecting to come back with some rather lurgy from
You
there.
just got everything else.
My husband got the same thing. Don't know what it was,
Allergy.
but
Well, it's because it was the perfect environment for someone to get something.
absolutely.
Because you had over 20,000 people each day going through the convention center.
Yep.
Whereas I
A lot
think
of them
something
with
more
no mask.
positive, shiny dice.
Yes.
I've got shiny dice, but I'm using this one at the moment because
Yeah.
the other ones are rolling crap.
Right.
I would offer to let you roll this dice, except
But
that every
that's
time
the-
I've given it
that's the
to
killer
every time I've given it to a play, it doesn't roll above 5.
He's used to dice like that.
And then when I roll it for a player for their saving throws, I could not believe how many ones it rolled when it rarely rolls once.
It's really
And-
funny.
And
So
this is the die that rolls multiple 20s for him.
Yeah.
Well, on the one of the Friday games, we had a player who had to step away, and they needed to make death saving throws. Out of 6 rolls, 5 of them were ones.
Oh. Ow.
Dang you, mouth rocks.
So where do we get? So what did I miss?
So-
Alright.
You want to do the recap?
How you do? Do you want to do introduction?
We can do the recap first.
Alrighty.
Because she's the one with the notes.
So,
Just the charade.
well, currently, our team is on a quest to find a death orb. Destruction orb.
Devastation Orb.
Devastation
Yes.
Orb. That's the word. That has led us to the city of Castlin, in the lower parts of the northern reaches.
Mm-hmm.
We have found out that Loki is the patron god of Castlin. Thus, we have no contact with any of our gods or elders.
He's a little jealous.
Anything like that. He kind of messes with that pretty hardcore. Last session was fairly eventful accidentally.
Yes.
Where
Where I die? No, sorry.
No.
Oh, cool.
They don't know what happened to you. You've been missing the entire session.
Oh, cool.
yes. So if what we found out is, especially during the nighttime, you are forced to share all of the secrets that you know. So in order for people to get around that, what they do is they share everybody else's secrets.
Yeah.
They don't share their own.
It's just how the city works.
I had this brilliant idea that we could get around this if we use puppets to talk. And just so happens a puppet shop shows up. And I get a puppet that just so happens to be a
Semi-intelligent.
very
A mockery of
Racist.
another character's
god.
god.
Yeah.
Very racist depiction
So
of...
it has over 180 puppets in there, and each puppet is a mockery of a god.
Yes.
And they always give you the one relating to the one that's going to cause the most harm. And you don't have to pay for it.
And so this thing
Oh,
was...
gee.
Because you doing it is their payment. Yeah.
Yes.
But then
It was free!
you using it
It
is
was
their
going to
payment.
help me. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I try out this puppet. And starts saying very offensive things to offend Dracula. Unfortunately, so he has to walk back. And I am in tears trying to get this puppet to stop saying really racist things. Thankfully,
it's horrible.
Dracula comes back, puts a silver pin of the cat on me, which was a symbol of the goddess Basset, and she's able to save me by turning the puppet into a black cat, and it walks off. And as we're walking down the streets, a herd of cats is following me,
And everyone in town keeps commenting on, I didn't know there were cats here.
Yeah. So
Yes.
that's really funny. So anyway, we get to the place that your character got information that there might be something going on, a wink and a kiss.
Could you pass that across?
We get there. It is a strip club. That's a fun time. A
Mayo Strip Club.
male strip club, which Lonnie really likes. This is nice.
As it was easier than trying to stretch
Oh, yeah.
across.
A lady with dark hair comes to ask us if we're here for business, and us being distracted by the puppet incident earlier, we're just like, oh yeah, sure. And then she's like, are you here for business? And we're just like, oh, yes.
Yes, we are here for business.
So we go on to the back, and they're saying the auction starts at 1,500 gold. What is our bid? That's my recap.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it was eventful.
So we're actually at the auction.
We are currently at the auction. I did
Yes,
not
sir.
write down if the Devastation Orb was the thing that's for bidding right now.
They don't
So,
know that either.
Yeah.
They're in an auction that they don't know what they're bidding for.
That's it. We got told to do our business, and so we got taken to conduct business, which is the middle of the auction, which may have more than one item on the auction. So.
And there's a lot of luck involved when you're dealing with Loki.
And the idea that yes, potentially, hopefully, we will meet up with Polkus, considering the fact that he'd gone here about 12 or 24 hours earlier to find this place.
Yeah.
Okay, so we shall start off with people online today. So, Jeremy, would you like to introduce your character?
Good evening, all. Yes, I'm Jeremy. I'm playing Tyranny, the Atruaghin wise man or lawman who's become the shaman of the clan, or is working towards the shaman of the clan, to having been directed towards doing so by Atruaghin, unlike what certain puppets might have indicated.
And eventually going to be a chief of chiefs.
Yep, we just won't. We'll just ignore everything the puppets say.
There is still one puppet amongst the party.
Yes.
We're all puppets.
Oh, it's with the dragon right now. Calbricks and 8.
Also online today we have David.
Danger life of them.
Hello, I am David. I play Payne, the ever so heroic warlock who cares about kindness and charity.
Like we all should.
And occasionally has these slight head twitches for no reason whatsoever.
Right.
None whatsoever.
Twitch.
And there's no bitterness at all in his voice at all.
For any reason.
No.
And being called Pain has absolutely no connotations to why he twitches or has bitterness.
Absolutely none whatsoever. I don't know what you were talking about. This is Latin slander. I would like you to speak to my lawyer.
The lawyer happens to be Loki, but hey.
Yeah, Loki's always happy to sponsor you for any trial you'd like to lose in.
As long as he's working for me and wants to make everybody else's life hell, I'm okay with it. If not, I'd like to speak to another lawyer.
He just wants to make everyone's life hell, not just yours.
Well, that's cool. I'm okay with it.
Yep. He doesn't victimize people. He messes with everybody equally.
Well, he meshes with some more.
Oh no, true. If you're not true to yourself, he's going to really mess you up.
And if you're family, he picks on you more.
Well, of course, family is always best to target. Come on, he's amongst all of his various enemies, his greatest actual foe is his brother.
Yep. And it's his greatest friend is his brother at the same time.
Yes.
I love the contradictions there in that.
They actually did it. They've actually done it beautifully in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
They have. I love what
Really
they've done.
nicely done.
What they've got in this setting is not as nicely done,
No.
but it's close enough that I'm happy to say if you perceive it like that, you're good enough.
Yeah.
When they get a bit worried, they do get help.
Well, Loki helps everyone.
No,
Yeah.
the one from Ragnarok, yeah, I don't like doing that.
Yes. You don't like it, but you'll do it. Yes.
Okay, so at the table today we have Paul,
Who is Claw, the...
new disciple of Loki.
Yeah. Loki has paid attention to me because I inadvertently contacted him by phone. Pretty boy, blue-black head, diplomat, elf, warlock, and healer. Not by being multi-class, which is weird for a warlock. Anyway.
The horror story of the elven people.
And if the elves actually knew who I was, things would go badly.
You are the one person that terrorizes every elven child for over 3,000 years.
Yes, fortunately they don't know my actual name yet.
Well, they know you as the Shadow Elf.
Yes. Fortunately I don't look like, well actually I sort of pale skin and black hair. Yeah, I'm a dark yourself.
Your hair is not white, you're not an albino.
No, true.
So most of the dark elves are albino.
Yeah, I don't look like a shadow.
And they also have, anyone with power in the Shadow Elf community also has facial blemishes in purple.
Yeah.
So the two things that people associate with Shadow Elves is white hair. Doesn't matter what colour the skin is. The skin can be any colour.
Yeah.
But the hair is
Sometimes
generally
blue
shock
or
white.
grey or something, Yeah.
Yep.
But white hair, which I don't have either. So yeah, I don't look like a shadow. Elf.
And some of them look tanned even though they stay out of the sun.
Yeah.
Oh, actually.
Which you could get tagged because yes.
Can I get a coaster, please?
Yep.
He's a couple.
So then that brings us
Use one of them for the jug.
around to Kesley. I'll come to Jeff last because there's something funny to add on the end of his.
Oh, yay!
Can I also get Calcrix? I can't play without Calcrix.
Gotta have
Avatar.
I forgot to get your stuff down from up
That's
there.
okay. I can get
Whoop.
Calcrix.
Sorry.
You like? Oh, Jack.
Ooh, yeah. Doing exploring.
You
Alright.
understand that actually
Yeah.
illegal, you take
I'm
something from your hand and
playing-
pass it on.
Yeah, I know, but you're busy.
I'm playing Krupa Lani Aokai. She goes by Lani. She is a human Makai fighter. She is. Wait, where
Currently the Queen of Cats.
Yes,
Queen of Cats.
Mackay being Islander.
Yes. So think of Maui sort of islander
Yeah.
sort of person is the traditional of them, except they have more of a blue tinge skin
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
of connections to water.
Since you got
Yeah.
better access, I think you did that one.
So.
It's either
So you've
got
If it helps, here's some
Yeah.
color
Nice.
inspiration.
Yeah.
Some sitting here.
Oh, yeah, just be careful. It's all a little bit. I've got Adrian putting them up tomorrow.
Okay. I'm Lonnie, the Weapons Master. Lonnie, the Undying, Bane of Fire Giants, Provisioner of Pixies. Lonnie, the Fey Human of Clan Luab. The Cool Cape Crusader. And bound to Bastet. As I am
And
now
Black
currently
Ones
the Queen of
in
Cats. So,
Yes.
That one's in the hand.
I have a lot of titles. Hopefully, many more to come.
Yes. And we'll try and keep with Lani the Undying because which works because you've got a
Undying.
killer standing behind you.
Yes.
Yes.
A lot of the Undying assets.
Yes.
Well, you haven't died yet.
See?
And there have been many characters who have died in the storyline. So death is not the end of a character. Death is a confrontation with your gods that explain why.
Like, what are we doing?
So, unlike the Pathfinder one, the gods in this world aren't as much of a dick as the ones in the Pathfinder one.
Yeah, because Pathfinder is basically the whole setting is a dick.
Yes.
Great concept for a great club. Walking around, like, look, I'm talking about the ones in the
Oh, yeah.
But would you also be multi-class with druids since you can change into different animals?
So yes, now we're up to Ariadna.
We're actually up to Calcrix, the white dragon with the jazz wings.
Yep.
And the puppet.
And she currently has a companion plant gifted to her by the avatar of the Queen of Darkness, named Eve, who currently is in possession of a puppet, Michael, which you can hear her squeaking out of her little bag every now and then.
Which absolutely suits them, because that's one of the opponents of the Avatar of Darkness is the Gormites.
Yeah.
So the fact that's the parody of the Gormites, and this is a gift from the Queen of Darkness, it absolutely loves the fact that it's running around with this really horrific parody of one of its opposing gods.
So
Yep.
Calcrix doesn't have a
It's
problem as long as Eat is happy. And she also has accompanying her her gnome barista. And I can't remember.
Grindelwaffle.
Grindelwaffle Brewmaster. So they come as a little collection. They recently joined the group taking over from one of her friends, Tinkerton Gnome, who stayed behind to fight in said war that you
The War of the Tree.
kidnapping
Yes.
people
I was not kidnapping them. I called champions to battle. Just happens to be.
Volunteering?
Conscription.
The god. I didn't conscript anybody. The god conscripted them.
And the amusing thing with the whole conscription was each person conscripted was destined to save the Tree of Life.
And they knew it.
And they were told that, and then they disappeared, and everyone was told that the Shadow Elf took them. They were never told that they were succeeded or they failed, just the Shadow Elf took them.
Yes, because in most cases, they're going to succeed 1,000 years in the future or thereabouts.
Yes, so the
They
fact
tell
that
their families.
it was true in so many different fashions, and I didn't set it up beforehand, which was even funnier,
Yes.
that it just fell right into place.
Yep.
That's why I have a lot of stories that are just sitting there open-ended until the solution just happens to walk right in and
Yep.
say, pick me.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
so
this one
it
walked
worked
up and went,
perfectly.
hello.
A question of clarification there,
Yeah.
though.
Yes.
Is it actually plural that's going back in time,
No.
or is
I called
Lu-
them
Luell,
from-
Drazzle?
Luell called them all from history,
Oh, right. So
and
Yeah.
so he stole each and every one of them from their timeline.
yes,
and
but
the
how is he
own-
getting back to that time?
They don't.
the-
They have
They
now
haven't
left
yet.
that timeline permanently.
Oh, okay.
They cannot go back.
God magic has pulled them out of the timeline.
Okay, but it's
It was
not
God. It was God
necessarily
magic,
your
not Drazzle. It's
magic.
not me. It
Yes.
wasn't me. It wasn't
So
Drazzle.
technically-
Luell was the catalyst.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
it was Luell's
I was-
call, and
Yeah.
it was Luell who pulled them.
Technically, it would be his god. That's the
Yeah.
other
The
doctor.
the god actually didn't have a say,
Oh,
No, he didn't ever say, but it's his power.
because someone sacrificed his personal holy symbol that he carved himself using the Shadow Elf sword,
Yes.
and that was the catalyst. That you had to actually break something powerful to do something like
And
that.
it had to be that level of power.
And the trick with that is it's impossible to send them back, and it's impossible to actually know who took them.
Yep.
Because at that point there was no knowledge given anywhere because you're playing with god magic.
does this
Yeah.
make you worse than a baseball player?
It means the only way anyone's going to find out who actually did it without me telling them
I looked.
is if they ask the god and the god answered truthfully.
Yep.
Elsendal did not know.
He does now.
He may if his followers tell him. He's only as omniscient as the people who tell him.
No, true. Yeah, but this
That is the
something-
truth. And where they are now, they cannot tell him.
Yeah, but this is something I would have told him when I did my prayers and so on, because occasionally when I do my prayers, I end up actually talking to him. I don't talk. One of the things, I don't end up talking to a proxy or one of his subordinates. I end up talking to his Ilsendal, which is pretty mind-bending.
Well, the gods
Kind of the
here
same for Calcrix.
are like
not
the
like
when you see some of the stories of the Norse gods like Thor and that, how when
Oh, yeah, it's
people
always
talk,
directly.
they always talk to them directly. In this setting, you
Yeah.
always talk to the god directly.
Mm.
If the god sends a emissary to talk to you, you're fucked up.
Yeah.
They only ever send an intermediary to deal with a person if they don't actually want to talk to you anymore.
Yeah, it's often because they're so angry that if they were actually there, they'd
They would
destroy
just
you.
smite you.
Yeah. So yes, I can see that.
It means they're not done with you. If they're done with you, well,
You
there's
just die.
there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
We're up
So
to-
now we're up to Jeff, and the
So-
interesting things that are going to happen to his character in a moment.
Tullius, given sailor of no titles,
Yes.
and he likes it that way.
That's right, we'll give you some.
Itinerant gambler, man about town.
He is out
Hi.
of Theater City. He is wanted by the Flatten people for what they call it when you
Draft dodging.
draft dodging. That's it. So he is known as a draft dodger.
Well,
This
this
is
is-
something he likes to advertise.
Yeah, well, no, of course not. Nobody likes being a draft.
Do you want the clear or the?
Yeah, but
They
that's the
don't
thing.
have fancy
They're-
titles like everybody
No,
else, and I'm happy about that.
Well, draft dodger isn't entirely what he is.
I should have
Yeah.
you get characters into some places.
He is also friend of Bargle,
Mm-hmm.
which again is a title very few characters will ever want to use if they know the Mystara setting.
I'm guessing from the last shopping expedition that I definitely do not want to use it.
As an example, from the red box set that started D&D as the basic book, you get a solo adventure where you get to go into a dungeon with a wizard, and the wizard betrays you. That wizard is the name Bargle.
Right.
So Bargle is one of the most hated wizards in all of D&D, even though he's not known that he comes from Mystara.
Right. For those people, for those players of a certain age.
Yes.
Yeah.
For those of you who started with the box sets.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, he's also from the setting of Karamikos, where he works for the Black Eagle Barony. So if you know the term Black Eagle Barony, that is another big red flag for saying, oh crap.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
familiar with the red box set.
Yeah.
So that's me just giving you context about how
Yeah.
known as friend of Bargo.
Yeah. I actually got given the
Because
Karamikos
the-
box set without the book in it.
The introductory letter you got to the thieves here said you were a friend of Bargo.
Yay! That's
right.
exciting.
So that's why I said you get that extra title. And so as you had last session, you went off to talk to the Thieves Guild and get to know them. No one knew what happened to you, but now that they've come in for this auction thing, one of them manages to glance around because they have an absurdly high perception that they see you tied up in a corner, sitting on a chair, gagged.
Oh, awesome.
And apparently you've been here for most of a day. So that's how we introduce the missing character. So you know where he's been.
Right.
Obviously, there are other people who recognise the name Bargle.
Presumably that's why they tied you up.
Any friend of Bargles deserves to be tied up.
So there are two Bargles in the setting, and the friend who said that you're a friend of Bargle didn't identify him, that he was the least hated one.
Awesome.
Right. They're both hated, but one of them is bad. Right.
I'd like to get myself out of said balance. So I'm assuming I noticed these guys. When
Well, you do notice these guys, and you realize that you've been here for quite a while.
Also,
Oh, no.
we've turned up, which means whoever had been looking after you is now distracted. So you got
And so the person who had brought you in for the thing turns to the person in the corner and says, I believe you left this earlier. And they go back to their bidding.
awesome.
So as I say that, your bonds just fall off.
Oh, okay.
Because you were magically bound,
Necessarily.
which was not very nice. Because every time you moved, it got tighter.
That's not nice.
Yep. Yeah. There's a. I'm just looking up the name Bargle, and there's someone who's got live play session on YouTube, where the first part of the campaign is find Bargle, and the second part of the campaign is kill Bargle.
There are a lot of people who hate him.
Mm-hmm.
It was just interesting to point out to you just how iconic the name is for those who've never actually encountered it before. It's like saying Almeister, Mordecane, and Tasha. Name Raistlin. It's the
It's
iconic
the names that
wizard,
just always come up.
and there is no wizard more iconic in Mystara than Bargle.
Mm.
Even though there are a lot of better wizards, he's the iconic wizard of the setting.
Because everybody knows
Yeah.
I even hate him.
Yes. There's
So they release
there's a,
Tullicus.
yeah,
Goes
there's
back
a,
to us.
yes, there's a detective.
And you see his robes slither off.
Okay.
My robes.
Your ropes, not your robes.
Yeah.
We can have your robes slither off if you like, I don't mind.
Oh, I think okay.
Well, Colligan
I know it's that kind of place, but like we don't need that kind of entertainment.
Colligan wears clothes.
And they took nothing from you. They didn't need to.
Yeah, nothing worth taking.
That's actually a little more concerning.
So you were tied up with weapons.
Okay.
Obviously, they thought you were tied up enough that disarming you wasn't an issue.
Okay.
Well, they also did say that if he had tried to escape, none of his friends would be allowed to participate in the auction.
Do you know what they're actually bidding on this auction?
You know what they're bidding on. They're actually bidding on what the Devastation Orb, but they don't know that.
Well, we hope that.
Yes.
Or we hope it's one of the items of the auction.
So the first item is going to be what we're
I was gonna
after.
say, I don't think
The
I
only item they're selling is what
Right.
they're after. Because
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
basically there are more people hunting this one item than anything else these people have ever tried to sell.
Okay.
So they're going, this price is going our way.
I'll
And the issue is not how much they can sell it for, it's can they sell it and actually live to collect the money is the issue that they have at the moment.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Considering
what
you
you're
were
actually
like,
tossing up at the moment is the idea of, hang on, we could sell it and then we're going to try and get away. Or we could toss it into the middle of the room and then run.
well, yeah, the whole point with this is come out of it with some money, and the second way is a hard way to do that.
There is rumours that the dragons are having a secret bid, and the bid is they will not destroy the city if they get it.
That's a good
bid.
That's a good sized bid, yeah.
Yeah.
But they're not sure if the dragons actually made that bid or someone else made that bid because no one really knows who's putting in the different bids.
Okay, my money is on Loki having made that bid.
As players, we all know that technically everybody's making that bid.
Well, that's true.
Assuming they're going to take it out of the city.
Yeah, but the thing is, the people making the bid don't know that.
That's right.
Right? So that's the thing. It's
Well, that's his character we've worked out too, haven't we?
yeah, but the whole
Yeah.
yes, the whole point though is that from their point of view, anyone who's going to be willing to bid on this thing is going to be powerful enough to take it, no matter how strong this thieves guild is.
And the Alphatian Empire has promised asylum to whoever sells it to them.
So the problem is,
Yeah.
And the Alphatian Empire is currently making rumours of invasion.
They're the
Yes.
ones with all the airships, right?
They're the
Yes.
ones that have enough ships that they could block out the sun over the entire region, and then just each one drop a rock and flatten the entire area.
Yep.
Yeah. Which kind of Jeff are you?
J.
J-E-F-F?
Correct.
And it's Tolkis, isn't it?
Yes.
No, my luck, I'll probably die first fight we get into.
So,
Hey,
Well,
what do
you
you-
might be resurrected with a lot of strings attached.
Well, no.
And then you might occasionally go back home.
No.
so we presume
I
a
can do it
lot,
without the string. Or
a lot of
much
the
strings.
offers are threats of violence,
Mhm.
Yes.
or like,
And the problem is, even
do
if
we
we are
have a bid that we want to put
even
in?
if we are
Have
successful,
it
we
is-
then have to fight off
Well,
everybody else going to come after us to
the-
take on from us.
The
Well,
Trident
it's
Empire
good
itself
fun at
has
last.
put in a bid for this Orb of Devastation, and they are offering to give amnesty to any crimes that that guild has committed or may commit in the next 10 years on their in their lands for the orb.
Ow.
I don't think.
No, okay. We were told from the beginning by Redrim that there's a very good chance we are not going to be able to meet the price. What we're supposed to do is
Get it anyway.
get it anyway from whoever actually makes the successful bid.
And because you've been in this room hearing all this while you're tied up. Because
Yeah.
apparently most of the people who brought in this bid also couldn't stay in here for hear everyone else's bid. But you were there tied up the entire time.
Yeah.
And none of them saw you.
Okay.
So you also heard of the Haldanic Knights. have put in a bid. They have promised to help them steal whatever their heart's desire for the orb. A bunch of flying holier-than-thou knights willing to steal anything to get this orb.
And by steal anything, they mean storm in there, kill a bunch of people.
It's still the way PCs do.
These are the so if you ever think of like the Solamic Knights from Dragonlance, imagine that there is an entire nation dedicated to that whole belief structure, and everything they do is about the service of one deity of war.
Yeah.
So they are the Knights of War. They have flying ships that fly by faith alone. Without the faith, it doesn't fly.
Mm-hmm.
And they are willing to, under their entire Paladin code, go and get someone's heart's desire for this orb and not break their Paladin code in doing so.
Because anything's doable in war.
Because they are Paladins of War, not Paladins of Justice, Paladins of Truth.
As long as it serves war, it's fine.
That means they're Knights of Conquest, for Conquest Paladins.
There are many different variants that will work for it, and they can actually take on nearly every type of Paladin oath and still further the God of War.
Yeah.
Because they all have different aspects. And they are some of the scariest knights out in play because they don't understand anyone else's point of view. There is no.
They're religious fanatics, of course they are.
There is no other point of view as far as they're concerned.
Yeah.
They will even fight someone who believes in the same God as them because their point of view is different.
So,
religious fanatic.
We're not going to be able to have any of these.
And they were probably the scariest people you saw in that room.
While I was tied up, did I actually see where they're keeping the orb?
They don't have it here. Because
that would be silly.
It is.
So bring an orb into Loki's city?
Well, it's in the city. You know, it's in the city.
Bring it here would mean that it's too easy for them to.
It's always in motion.
Yeah.
They have people keeping it moving.
Yeah.
Because if it ever stops, it's very. They refer to it very much like the Jack in the Box or moving. Going around chairs sort of thing, where when the music stops, things go bad. They're basically saying when the bids are finalised, the entire Thieves Guild are leaving town. They're not sticking around to find out what happens on who wins, because no matter who puts the bid in, they're worried about what's going to happen.
So our major bidders were the Dragons, the Hellenic Knights, and
the Alphatian and Thyatan empires. And the Galantrians have offered to remove the item from play, is their term of saying it. But you're not sure if it's removing it from play or using it, because it's very hard to tell the difference when Galantrians are involved, because they are the people who dabble in magic of every type that is not divine nature or dealing with someone else doing it. They're about stealing power for power's sake. And they will teach anyone and everyone how to steal power more. So they could probably subvert the item and do something different with it.
Use it as a power source for BR spells rather than a plot.
So pretty much our option is to try and work out where the moving item is and raid it. Or wait for one of the idiots buys it and rob them.
And
everyone else is trying to do this.
And the NPC you have with you called Drazzle has told Drachnomir that whatever happens, he's taking the orb.
Because he can put it somewhere safe.
So Jeremy knows where the orb's already used as a player, so the orb gets used.
Right.
But when and where is the problem.
So the Alphatians
their bid was amnesty, and actually going.
Thyatan?
The Thyatans' bid was sorry, the Alphatians one was they were going to give them asylum and let them get away from everything that's happening on.
Yeah.
But from our Thief's Here's perspective, Jeff's character, he would know that asylum for anyone other than a magic user is pretty much enslavement.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Alphatian Empire that your people are opposed to are magic only. If you do not have the ability to cast spells, you are nothing more than a slave.
Yeah. So the amnesty they're offering is, we won't kill you, but that's all. That's the only nice thing.
That's the asylum that they're offering.
We'll take you to Alphatia where you won't have to worry about anything happening here.
The Thyatis one is the one who is offering amnesty, but they're offering amnesty for crimes up to 10 years from the point you give it to them.
Yeah.
So you have the previous lifetime plus 10 years of crimes you may commit that you'll just get let off from.
So time to do 10 years of really big shit.
And considering
Remember, that kind of violence that you off.
the Thyatan Empire is one of the biggest land areas besides the Alphatians. The Alphatians and the Thyatans both own the biggest chunk of the world, and everywhere where the rest of the party has been, the laws were made by Thyatans.
Yep.
So Thyatans wrote nearly every rule book that everyone else isn't used to.
Isn't it the main language as well?
It is. It is why it's the common language, because they wrote the rule book.
Gotcha.
And all the rules are written in Thyatan.
Yep.
Even though people have kicked them out of the country and saying we don't want you anymore, they've still kept the rule book.
Yes, they haven't translated them either.
Or there's no need. Everyone speaks the language.
Yeah, well, they actually it's a trade language as well.
They've made it. That's how much they indebted themselves to everyone.
Yeah.
The other reason the second trade language is Alphatian is because both nations have conquered the region in the past. So both people have actually done that.
Yeah. So in modern day terms, that's the Greeks and the Romans, and everyone speaks Greek and Latin.
Yep.
Yeah, but what have they done for us lately?
So that's how
That's true.
They are your main players. There are a lot of different people wanting to get involved and do stuff. But when you have the equivalent of the Haldanic Knights roaming the streets looking for the other bidders and occasionally finding them, there's not a lot of people willing to actually throw down their hat in the ring.
Yeah.
We really have nothing to offer compared to these guys.
Oh God, no.
the power of friendship.
Actually, you do have something to offer these guys. You can actually make it disappear.
Very true.
You can, unlike the Galantrians, you can actually take the orb out of play.
You're
So
right.
if they don't know
Try and
how dangerous the orb is for
That's the thing.
themselves, that's not necessarily much of an offer.
That's the thing.
With the people who are asking for it, they do know how dangerous it is. It's so dangerous, none of the thieves want to touch the item.
Yeah.
They have a third party moving it.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a good sign then.
What's
Yeah.
good
So
enough for them?
if we can give them the offer of, we can take it off your hands and
with no
get it
repercussions.
with no
and actual
repercussions,
disappearance.
apart from you then having to tell people that somebody else got the bid,
Right.
which they were going to do.
You know, I as a player am very good with concepts that involve absolutely
was
zero
that?
repercussions.
Right. Or at least the concept of it, even if that never happens. Yes.
Okay. Because, I mean, let's face it. This way, they can equally annoy everybody.
Yes. And it actually is pro the tenets of how Loki works. Tweaking powerful people is one of the things he's good at because he's a god of mischief.
And
He
also
loves fire.
making them all look bad at the same time.
Yes. So if we can do that, we'll help them look good in the eyes of Loki.
Yeah.
So there's a selling point. Now I've got to make it because I'm the talking shit.
Yes, you are.
So yes, you find yourself before the woman who had come around. She is Nareen the Hest. She looks of Thyatan descent, which is not hard considering there are 4 different human races blended together that form the Thyatans.
Yep.
And everyone looks like them. But she, instead of being the usual air type, which most of them are, she is of night with dark hair. You can see the veins with a very like black spidery lines through the skin. But she's still fairly tanned. As someone who likes the sun but is of the night type.
Yeah.
And so, just confirming, so we've been brought into this back room, and it's only this person. It's not like we're brought into the auction house or anything like that.
This is the auction house, but the auction house only has one bid put forward by each group.
It being blind auctions, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, because if you were in the same room as the other bidders, it would definitely be a bloodbath.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Everyone would try and take everyone else out. And the Haldanic Lights would probably win.
They would start, but they're not guaranteed to win.
I know, true.
As paladins, they are the least paladin-like of any paladin from any setting you can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
They're the ones who start the fight first.
Doesn't mean you're actually going to survive it.
They don't always survive it, but they do start the fight first. And they are rather petty, vindictive, and mean-spirited people. And they are paladins still.
So, would our bid be we can make this disappear off of this plane?
Yeah.
Well, they did start off with 1,500 as being the gold value that they were asking for the bid.
Yeah.
And the fact that all these other people have had bids in there that don't talk about the money is an interesting talking point.
Yeah.
Do we have £15?
Oh, 1,500. Oh, God,
Easy.
yes.
Most of them have that as pocket change.
Yeah.
I don't.
At this stage you don't, but you will next level.
Yeah. We got paid recently for something pretty big. What was it? 20 grand in gems each.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we
maybe
could-
offer them the 15 grand
Well,
plus we make it disappear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
1,500, not 15
1,500.
grand.
1,500, so
That's the
we
thing.
could do
We
2,000.
could add a zero and one of us could pay it. It's pocket change at this point. But what we're offering is, here's the situation. This thing has a timer. Nobody knows when that timer's going to go off. Yeah. We can unfuck your life.
Because you have a feeling that no matter what happens, if this is sold to anyone but you guys, the city won't exist.
Yep.
Right after it's sold.
Yes.
Or at least one city won't
Because,
exist anyway.
well, that's the thing. Either it will be used in the city, or someone's going to remove the city, trying to get it from somebody else.
Yeah.
If we can make it disappear first, and everyone else knows it's no longer in the city, that will save a lot of lives. Now, Loki doesn't care, we know that. But his people do, because they're the ones whose lives are being saved at this point. So that's the package. We'll also offer cash, because that's what they're asking for, and we're the only ones now actually offering what they're actually asking for it.
Yeah.
So we'll give you 1,500 gold, and we will unfuck your life, get this thing out of the city, and these people will have no reason to damage you.
By the time we can get, by the
So-
time that we can get in touch with where the orb is, it'll be gone within minutes.
Okay, so something else that
Look, in
Jeff...
typical David as a player fashion,
Uh-oh.
have you guys just tried bribing somebody who matters?
We're talking to the person involved, and that's exactly what we're trying to do.
Effectively, that's what happened,
This whole offer is us bribing them to basically let us take the auction over and bugger off
Yeah,
with the
look,
thing.
as long as he gets the cash as opposed to some random organisation, I think he'd probably do well.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. It's the head of the head of the person running the auction is the one we're presently bribing to look. We're going to give you actual cash because you're asking for it. Let's help you not die.
So they describe it as a thick glass orb, dull red in colour and warm to the touch, packed in a small wooden cask filled with water and sealed with wax.
Mm-hmm.
Is identified as a powerful weapon of elemental fire. Basically, they rate it at legendary power level.
Yeah, And this is part of the problem. This is where Loki is going to have no problem with this. He already wouldn't have a problem with his people dying. He'll just get more. This is fire. It's his thing. He'd approve of it being used here. Let's not have that.
He has been known to enhance things, and so they do say that Loki has touched this and enhanced it, so it is beyond what a normal one will do.
Right. So yes, if anyone in this city wishes to live, let us take it off your hands.
So I will.
So that's the package.
That's the package that you're going to put forward. I'm happy to give you.
I'm not going to word it myself because he's the specialist. I'm not.
Happy to put it as a persuasion diplomacy role with advantage as the basic mechanic for what you're doing, but they are very predisposed to living, having been warned that once it's sold that they all have to leave the city.
Yeah.
One way or the other. No matter who it's sold to, they are told to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing you might want to consider would be the idea that yes, there are 1,500 gold to join the auction. Of course, that's going to the Thieves Guild itself.
Well,
individuals
I'm handing
would
it.
take more.
No, we're handing this to the person who's running the auction. If she keeps it in her own pocket or spreads it out, that's between her and her people. Nothing to do with us.
What I'm getting at is that if you don't have more than 1,500, then she can give the 1,500 to the guild and hawk for the rest.
That's still between her and them, right? If she isn't going to go for what I present initially, I'm quite happy to add 1,500 at a time until it gets to a number she likes.
So you're going on the basis of lowest possible
Well,
denominator?
I'm going on what she's asked for.
Yeah. But what Drachman was saying is...
No, I know, I've already... Yeah, I was just saying that. If she isn't willing to go for it on the 1,500, I'm quite happy to keep adding that amount until it gets to a
Does
number
she
she
know
likes.
that though? Not yet.
Well, this is bidding.
Yeah. Okay.
I believe that
Okay.
your friendly character would say that everyone's only being allowed to put in a single bid.
Yeah.
It's one bid only.
Yeah, so it's 1,500 to make a bid.
No, it is.
It's 1,500.
If you put 1,500, that is your bid. There's no increase, no decrease.
fine.
That's the bid you
That's how
put
you
in.
knew what the other bids were, because I was in the room and I'm
Okay.
Yeah.
And
so, you know the bid, so nobody else has actually offered the money.
and you've had a chance to chat with him before that he gets to put in his
the
bid.
point
So
is
discussing
what we can potentially, with what Payne is saying,
Yeah,
is that we can only make the one bid. We can't
yeah.
add to it later. So
Yeah.
if we want to go higher,
We need to do it now.
We need to do it
Yeah.
initial bid.
Well, do you know enough about, have any of the others offered money?
No.
Right, so,
Because those all went under the pad.
The equivalent of the minimum bid is all that they've offered.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone who's sniped on eBay knows that you put in...
Because they say bidding starts at this, and then they throw in the other conditions on top of it.
yeah.
And the other
that's thing, if you've
conditions
only-
are the horrible
if
conditions.
If you've only got one bid, then sniping becomes not a thing. But you know the amounts that they've put in.
So they bought
They've only put in
1,500.
1,500. So
I would recommend bidding
if...
probably 3,000.
Yeah.
And you do know
if we
that
double it.
this item in itself, if it was to be sold legitimately in a store, would go for 300,000 gold
Yeah.
at a minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in a store you have a better chance of it not being on a ticking time bomb and time for it to go off.
Have you tried just asking her what she wants?
Yeah.
Well, that was also a thing. It's sort of, hi,
That's
I'm
right.
quite willing to give you the minimum, but would you prefer a bit more, plus us unfucking your life?
Because I've been in this room for like so long, have I had a chance to maybe make an insight check? Just
Sure,
on
give me an
trying
insight
to
check.
get an
Yeah, there you
idea.
go. That's
Well,
always a
you
good
have an idea of what she's up to, what she wants.
Oh, thank Christ, this dice is working for me tonight. 23.
Okay, so
Also, on your insight, you might be curious to think about how many members of the Thieves Guild are in this city.
there's about 20 members of this guild here.
here.
Loki himself is involved in the auction. He's the one who has brought together all the different peoples with rumors, lies.
Is he going to be the sort though that will go for a bid of we're going to make your life easier?
And he's the one who tied you up in the chair.
So he's the one that ensured that everybody knew about this ultra-secret bidding option.
Very much so. So everyone got a little bit of information, and from what you can tell, not a single person but you guys know it's on a timer.
Okay, and the other thing
Everyone else thinks this is a weapon you store away for a doomsday device.
Yeah.
And has been listed as a doomsday device.
So if you set it away and store it, you ain't buying the country.
Basically, that's what. If someone is violent and horrific enough to win their bid for this doomsday device, they doom their own city.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been set up for it will reach their city and then go boom once it reaches their city,
Yep.
no matter which city buys it.
Mm-hmm.
In my observations, we've got inside check. Do I have an idea if there's any of the other bidders that they're leaning towards?
That they are leaning towards living. They don't have to deal with the Haldanic Knights very often, but the Haldanic Knights have been known to be some of the best trackers in the world. So piss them off. They may just send paladins after you until they kill you. The dragons have the longest memories of anyone in the setting, and they don't like being trifled with.
I'm human, so it doesn't really bother me that much. But my descendants may be bothered by the dragons coming for revenge.
The dragons, when they've been angered enough, have wiped out civilizations.
Yeah. The thing with this is, in both cases, as long as we've got some way of proving to them this thing had a timer and was going to screw you up if you won.
No, from what you can tell, Loki has made it so no one can know that truth but you guys.
And the other thing is, they wouldn't believe us if we told them.
It's
that's what I'm
equivalent.
saying. If we had some way to prove it.
And it's been set up so no one can know that who wasn't told by Redrin himself.
Which is why we will.
So this is one of the secrets that we can't say out loud.
Yes.
Yeah, no, even if you say it, no one believes it. They don't hear the words.
Or they cannot perceive it as valid.
So I think our best bet is to offer them a bit of extra cash.
Oh yeah,
I've get rid of it and it won't be used.
I've got no problem. I didn't know we
and you didn't know that until this point.
Yeah, I didn't know what we couldn't bid up. I'm quite happy to go. Look, here's $5,000.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We can be like, here's $5,000. It'll be gone off of this plane.
Yep.
Within
it'll be out of here, and you won't be exploded.
No one will be exploded.
Yes.
No one on this plane.
Okay. So you put together a bid of $5,000?
Put together all of this. I make it sound good. I put it towards. Well, it's a thieves' guild.
And you do see that there are chests from each bid sitting in this room.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is with the bids, do you get the money back if you lose?
No, they've already paid.
They've all paid.
Yeah, the payment was to get into the bid.
Oh yeah.
So being a blind auction, you pay the money whether you win or lose.
Yep.
And I think the funny
And
thing
they get all of
is that's why they're all leaving town as soon as the auction, no matter what.
No matter what happens, they have to leave town.
Because there's a lot of money there.
Yes.
And there's a lot of promises in there too.
Mm.
Including the amnesty thing.
Yes. Big hairy things.
Well, I'm happy to put in enough to make it up to 6,000 gold.
Well, I could,
I'm happy to top up whatever it is.
I'm sort of assuming that we're going to sort of pull together.
And while you know of like four to five groups, there are 9 chests here in total.
Right.
Can Tollicus tell how much is... Or Calcrix being very financially aware, can she estimate from the chests roughly what's in them? Can she see... Are they open?
They're not open. They're all sealed.
Can she nonchalantly wander around the room, nudge them and see how heavy they are?
You can, but when you get near them, you hear the sound of crackling energy.
Oh, okay, alright, so no, couldn't. Okay.
So you just 1,500 times 9.
Yeah.
Can she...
There is one open chest, and that's got nothing in it.
And that's for us.
Can she, like,
Tollicus
do a perception or insight roll based on her knowledge of money and things like that, or is she...
You're thinking
not
there's
really...
anywhere between, you'd say about... Because there's 10 chests, would be about maybe 15,000 to 100,000 in gold sitting in this room, plus any other promises that have been made.
I'm trying to figure out what we should put in our chest. Is there
a handful of gems
And that's
quite happily do the job. And that's what I'm thinking of doing, is making it showy as part of my presentation
Yeah.
of pulling out basically $5,000 worth of gems
and
and going, here is
here's
our bid, or
just to make the value.
as a presentation thing, I'm making a point of it. It's going to be flashy.
And that's where I was happy to, because I've got lots of gems as well.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing. All of us got 20 grand in gems. We've got enough to handle this.
Yeah, that's why I'm happy to go up to 6.
I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to ask other people to sort of pay me back their share of it. For those people who have money.
If you'll humour me, I will give you an extra 1,000, just because I want to bump it up that little bit more.
Yep, okay, if we can go to 6, that's fine. I'm quite happy to do it. But whatever we're going to do, it's going to be, I'm going to present it by, here is me pouring a handful of gems into a chest as part of my presentation to them. Now, would it be better to go for diplomatology rather than persuasion? Although my persuasion's slightly better. Although I don't know if my diplomatology is going to be higher than what I've got listed here.
I would say your persuasion would be better than diplomatology at this stage, because for them, anything that involves magic in this will always backfire.
Yes, fair enough. Because if magic is involved, they're going to assume it's going to be against them.
Well, you've learnt enough of Loki that
Loki
being one of the princes of the sea will always make magic to his advantage.
Yes. So absolutely without magic.
Naively, would Calgrix being a dragon, being next to obviously making sure that she's seen, would that have any influence on the diplomacy or bargaining?
Possibly. Having heard that dragons might also be bidding.
Yep.
Means that you may be seen as the dragons have given some sponsorship towards someone else.
Legitimately assist him in his role there?
You could.
Okay.
I will give a bonus for that.
Yep.
Yep. And I can make a point of that too. And I will, because I'm a dragon magist as well.
So yours doing bidding.
Yep. And I've already introduced myself, which means my cloak is already activated. I was going to say I have to suppress it, but I realised I don't have to. Because I was going to make sure not even the cloak is going to have an effect. Actually, for this, I will take the cloak off. Because it's obvious what my cloak is for. So I'll take the cloak off and put it away.
And by doing that, you're being true to yourself.
Yes. This is me doing this, not me with something else.
So one day Disney will show this as a movie.
And you're going to be the little bird flying around.
Will I leap for that?
So we'll have to get the royal dress. So you get Disney princess.
Yeah.
I've already got a formal gown.
Oh no, wait a minute. Disney is going all.
We got stars.
Hey.
Everybody's expected. She can wear hats.
Very good question.
They.
They.
No, right.
It's enough. It doesn't really matter he or she.
That's true. Also remember, here's a thing on that, going with the Disney princess thing. Because of who owns the show, Klinger counts.
Oh, yeah. I reckon that's a good one.
Oh God, she holds the Disney princess too.
Yes.
Yep.
At least at Disney Live. Okay.
So we put fourth. You're gonna do it.
Dink. It's the only bonuses I can add on top of what we're doing.
Well, that's
We
why I
do
thought I'd
also
give
have
my
at
little
least
bonus.
one reroll on the table,
If needed.
if needed. Well, roll 17 on the die is a good start.
I think we're
And you do have advantage.
Good point.
That's why I thought I'd point it out for him. So in case he does roll higher, which is always
Right.
possible.
Okay, so 17, because I didn't roll high. 24 plus bonuses.
Plus bonuses. Okay, so with all the bonuses, you can hear the sounds of trumpets going off as you're dropping stuff into the chest.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like a band is going off in the room. And then afterwards, there is a pedestal appears with a smoking glass filled with what looks like horrific liquid in front of you.
Thank you, Loki.
And how big's this glass?
It's the equivalent of a cocktail glass, and the woman is looking expectantly at Llewell.
It would be rude to do other than pick it up and drink it.
I would drink it for you, but
So
I think that would
that
give
glass
the wrong message.
and that symbol that you see before you is also the symbol of Loki.
Mm-hmm.
So it is Loki's holy symbol sitting on there. That is a drinkable holy symbol. Just I thought I'd point that out before you touched it.
Your God. I am happy to drink this for you.
No. Because
Go
Do you know how big this Devastation Orb is?
Loki and his...
It would be about the size of a
audience
basketball.
watching this. That's what that
Oh, okay,
fanfare
right.
was.
I could be a
I just had this image. Well, actually, it's about the size of an olive sitting in that cocktail.
Yes, I'm the one who's doing it.
Yep.
So what I'm going to do is, in my mind, I'm going to apologise to Elsendal for what I'm about to have to do. But what I'm doing is the wise thing.
Mhm.
So I'm working on that right now. It's both wise and I'm being true to myself.
Mhm.
So I'm hopefully being nice to both girls. So yes, I'm not going to test it because
You're going to have
that's
to drink it either way.
it's the truth of what I'm doing right now. So,
Okay.
yes,
So you drink it?
I will drink it as a toast
Mm-hmm.
to them and to Loki,
Okay.
or to Loki and to them. Do it that way around.
As you drink it, you get a vision.
Mm-hmm.
You realise that Devastation Orb is in a mausoleum nearby.
Right.
You are currently personally being hunted by 3 knights from the Haldanic territories.
Right.
The dragons have decided to let things rest.
Mm-hmm.
The Thyatans have no idea what's going on. The Galantrians are waiting on the orb to be activated to try to figure out where it is.
Right.
And the Alphatians are tracking what they think is the orb.
But
Isn't.
they're being led astray.
So something is going around the city that they're tracking that is not the orb.
Someone has a puppet of the orb.
Uh,
That'd probably be my
So
puppet.
Loki has what appears to be the orb in the astral region of the city, moving around the city that the Alphatians are chasing.
Mm-hmm.
So they are currently hunting for this thing that doesn't actually exist.
Yep.
Because they're all trying to cheat their way past the having to pay for it.
Yep. Of course they are.
Does your vision indicate what element the Devastation Orb is?
It is.
we know it's fire.
Fire. Okay.
We knew that from the beginning.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Red Red told us.
And it was mentioned about 15 minutes ago by Mark.
Yeah.
Cool.
So right
Okay.
now, the only person
How-
that's actually hunting
Okay,
down
for different
And-
Knights.
And the last vision you get is Drazzle activating the Devastation Orb.
Well, then,
Yeah,
Drazzle's
but
taking
does
care
it
of everything.
show where?
It does not. But whatever he does destroys the region
Where we are.
No.
where
No.
he
Oh,
where he
Drazzle
activates
is-
it.
Where Drazzle is activating it. Let's make sure that where he's activating it isn't here.
Or if it is here,
I
not
thank
where
Loki.
he has it.
For the information.
And basically, you also find out that Drazzle kills everyone with him when he activates it.
With
So
him?
let's make sure we're not there by having him be somewhere else.
So for Jeremy's perspective, that's what happened in the Wednesday night game.
Yeah.
Right.
So he does know when it happens.
So I'll close the chest on the gems.
Mm-hmm.
Bow. We don't have a lot of time. Pull aside.
Does
This is
just
where it
Drizzle
is.
There's a portal we can go into.
Drizzle has a portal that he's going to send the orb into.
Yeah, it's. Let's hope he gets it through the portal and to where he can use it, and then sets it off rather than letting it happen here. Right. So I tell them about where it is right now,
Mm-hmm.
the fact that I'm being hunted by 3 Haldanic Knights, which means avoiding them would be good, and moving really fast is the thing you need to do right now. Now, Redrin's order on this, was that to obtain it and then call him?
He wanted it removed from play. He does not believe in weapons of mass destruction.
Right, so it's, we get it and give it to Drazel.
And then Drizzle pisses off with it,
Yes.
and then we lead everybody else off.
Then we run like buggery because 3 Haldanic Knights are still going to be pissed off.
And you think that they've latched on to you as the Shadow Elf, not just as
Ooh.
us.
Just remember.
So that's their connection to you.
Yeah. What was that?
That's the whole thing of like, you don't need to outrun them, you just need to be faster
You
than your
don't have to
friends.
outrun the dragon, you just have to outrun the slowest member of the party. Or in this case, the primary target.
On that idea,
Yeah, Jeremy?
Strictly, in the long term, I can move faster than any of you.
on that idea, it's the sense that can Pool provide enough direction and communication so that some of the party can go and retrieve the orb and or have Drazel with his cart nearby to put it straight into,
Yes.
whilst other members of the party, including Pool, lead the Haldanic Knights on a goose chase and anyone else chasing him.
Yes.
I'm happy to
We
lead
should be able to
people
do
on a chase.
Yes. Getting. I've told them the mausoleum where the thing presently is. Another reason why we have to move fast because they're going to move it soon.
Yeah.
Who's going
I'm
to be best
leading
to go
people on a merry
to?
chase.
Yep. Who's going to be best to
Dracula's
actually go after?
definitely aiming to go with Drazel to the orb.
All right, you do that.
I'm leaving Grindel Waffle and Eep behind.
Mm-hmm.
I would think that it would make sense if, well, Caltrix and Lonnie go on the wild goose chase while everybody else goes to get the orb.
Well, and certainly, as a character, yeah, Dracula suggests that as a player, I'm not saying that doing the party is the ideal option, I'm just saying that it is an option.
Well, it's
The other suggestion would
If we manage to just get to the orb, just as the bad guy catch up with
Yeah, that-
and we all together at the same time,
yeah.
all things can go wrong.
The other thing is, if we all get together to where the orb is, and if it's protected, we can do something about that. Then we get it to Drazel, and then we run like buggery, while Drazel does his thing.
So,
And that's probably going to be
me and
quicker
Lonnie
than splitting up.
goose chasing or not?
No.
And also the other thing is the mausoleum would be an awesome place if we had to actually fight.
Anybody.
Everybody, we can actually direct the opponent so we're not getting able to be overwhelmed.
Yes.
Because the mausoleum will have similar entrance
Yes.
and some place where we can at least tactically.
Plus,
And you
plus-
do know
plus-
that Haldanic Knights are very good at three-dimensional combat.
So making
They are
We're also really
unparalleled
good
in
at
that.
having killed, but we won't go into that.
So making it as two-dimensional as possible is actually a bonus to us.
Whatever you do.
The other thing is collateral damage isn't going to be too much of a problem because they're already dead.
There you go. So,
I don't know about your culture, but a lot of
Well,
cultures.
his one is
it's
that-
No, it's still bad, but it's not going to end up with loss of life.
So Rose told us that there's 3 knights after you. Lonnie's like, no problem, I got you. Wait, you're slimmer than me, right? Yeah. I would say, no problem, little buddy, even though you're much taller than me.
Yeah.
And I would kind of slightly, not touch Pain, but nudge Pain through the air, and just being like, I think we got it. Yeah. What do you say, Pain? Can we protect Lil?
He's paying up for protection detail.
Yeah. Alright.
Or at least messing with Haldanic Knight's
Oh, he might
decal.
have dropped off. That's
Has
okay.
he fallen off?
He's back again.
Oh, good.
Hey, David.
Did you just fart?
He probably did. He's good at that.
He's very happy. He's purring.
He
wanted
generally
me to
purrs
chase
right
him,
afterwards.
but-
Yeah.
Hello. My apologies.
All good.
I've been having some pretty rough reception.
So what I said was,
It's Telstra's fault.
Luell has said that he has 3 knights after him, and Lonnie was just like, oh yeah, no problem. And then like air nudged Pain, like, I think we'll totally be okay protecting you. What do you say, Pain? So
Why do you ask me? I don't care.
You get to beat up on Eldanic Knights.
Eldanic Knights sound like they'd hurt even more.
So hurt them first.
Well, hopefully we can just be gone
I mean,
Yeah, well,
if
yes.
you tell me that I can kill some people, I'll go and kill them. But just tell me, okay?
We're doing that. Let's do that.
I bet.
Well, let's try not to.
All right, I better not get any grief for this though.
Alright, so that's the plan. We're going to go to the mausoleum, grab the...
As he talks about beating up the Haldanic Knights, you notice that a sword on his back starts to glow.
Ooh.
Uh-huh.
What? The hell is that?
And you remember that sword you picked up from the ice store?
Oh yeah.
It seems quite eager to challenge itself against the Haldanic Knights.
Wait, do I have a sword or does somebody else have a sword?
You have a sword.
You have a sword.
I don't even remember it.
Yeah, you got the Holy Avenger type sword.
You got the Holy Avenger
Stupid
job.
sword.
Yes.
Yes.
Alright.
So, and also you remember the sword has your soul in it.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Right, so this is your soul responding.
Well,
I thought you'd like that little reminder.
Very feeble warlock draws the sword from his back and holds it in his hand.
And you see it light up like the sun.
Oh, God.
Come on then, idiots, let's go kill something.
Let's head towards the mausoleum.
Alright, I think
It's so bright that Payne's eyes hurt, but I'm sure Payne's happy with that.
No,
He's used to it.
not really.
He's less unhappy with it than some other people.
And yet, not one bit of the light casts a shadow.
Oh, well, I've met light like that.
So you can see that there is no shadow anywhere in that light
that's
radius.
pretty cool, actually.
I am Shadow.
Yeah, that's what you get
I
with
am
light
the night.
from legendary items.
Oh, God, it's
'Cause-
Batman.
Because that's what happened with the light from my
I already
staff.
have the key.
You can do that with a
Now
cloak.
we just need to get
Yeah,
boomerangs.
Now you can do that with the cloak of the bat.
Oh, God. Anyway, let's just
Yeah.
get to where we're going.
Post haste, let's go.
So yes.
Let's go before the Haldanic Knights turn up. If we find Drazzle on the way, actually, can we contact Drazzle on the way? Who's got sending?
We're not sending in this city.
No, true. Actually, that's a very good idea. Let's not do that.
Do I know where to... how about I go and get Drazzle?
Okay.
Oh, actually, no, one of you guys wants to get Drazzle because I have no idea where he is because I've been...
Jack Nimmo's happy to go get Drazzle.
Okay.
So how many people are heading off to get Drazzle?
So you end up deciding that the party's going to try to get together as much as possible?
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna try to go together as much as possible. Does Dracula want somebody with him to go get Drazzle?
Do we know where Drazzle is at the present time?
Outside the city.
He didn't enter the city.
Yeah, that's right. He didn't want to come in. So yes, we've got to get this thing and get out.
And do we know where the mausoleum is in
Yes.
relation to...
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, map B.
Yeah, I locate. I tell people where it is. Getting
So
there
like
from there.
It is beneath the eastern wall of the city.
So
Right.
we need Drazzle outside the eastern wall, basically.
Well, I'll go with you to
eastern
get
entrance.
Drazzle so you got backup in case something does happen.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes, and actually getting into him may be
Because we're
the
sending our
easiest thing.
primary
Maybe go up and
warriors
straight over
with
the wall,
him.
Okay.
or even through it.
So
And go
Do you
through it.
want to throw a nuclear bomb?
No, not throw it through the wall.
Oh, I thought you said throw it. I'm just like,
Yes.
this isn't
No.
like, this isn't like
At
a
the very
lost
least, we
ball
have to
throw
get
over a
Drazzle
fence
to where
sort
we
of
can get
thing.
easily.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't think we want...
It's not called a football for nothing.
Ah,
I
yeah.
have a feeling we do not want to be trying to run through the city with this thing to get
God
to Drazzle.
no.
So the
But
closer we...
if he's just outside the wall, I can dimension door to him.
you're also warned
not.
not to take it through
That way.
any
Oh, that's
dimensional
right, yes.
space
Yeah,
because
space.
the moment you step through a dimensional space, you activate it on both sides.
Yeah, that's yes. That's
told
right.
him. I was going to remind
No,
him, but...
Probably
The character would have remembered.
the
So,
easiest thing that we actually could do.
I can climb
Can
the
she
wall.
fly?
Yeah.
The dragon can fly, yes.
She can fly over the wall. Bam, done.
Yeah, and plus you got a rogue. I mean,
Yeah.
a sailor who knows how to climb.
Yes.
So yes,
Limber skilled person. Yes.
heading out of the city, you find a Drazzle with a bunch of horses.
Yeah.
Where are you on the horses?
Well, you out to look for him
I'm
as
not
well?
there,
Okay,
so
so yes,
never
you find Drazzle with a bunch of horses.
Okay, Drizzle, we have located the target. We need you to get to this eastern wall at this point, and we'll get the thing to you.
Okay, he hands you the reins of the horses and gets on his wagon and starts setting off.
Okay, and we both jump on the horses and right.
The horses are covered in blood.
Ah!
Yes,
Did
Drazzle has
Drazzle
removed
explain
the
beforehand
buttons.
why he didn't want to go into the city?
Something about he wasn't welcome.
Okay.
Alright.
Explain the fact of where he is and the mausoleum, the location of the actual item. Is he willing to actually go into the city for the purpose of recovering the orb? With his,
It's on the eastern side, so we just go around the
rather than
outside.
move the orb.
He says if he enters the city, bad stuff will happen. The orb will detonate if he's in the city.
How
Okay.
high is the wall?
The wall itself is
City anyway.
We'll take it to the closest spot to go to.
so the wall would probably be
True.
about 20 feet high because it's got to be able to withstand giants.
Just the point, I could actually parkour over that in one round.
Yeah. Yes.
Most walls of cities are at the 20-foot mark because that's basically where you're at chest height for most
I
giants.
just,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's not. Yeah. It's not
because
too
of
high.
my racial, because I'm athletic, I can climb that no extra cost of movement.
Nice. So you're full.
Yeah, I can pretty much double move and I can be over.
Yeah.
Okay, so give me a perception roll for your character.
Alright.
See if you notice anything useful.
Okay. It's an 11 on the dice.
Is there anything useful in the saddles?
How fast are we moving, going around?
Well, this is not about the movement. This is about something else.
No, it's because if we're moving at half our movement, I get advantage.
Well, we'll give you advantage because you're not currently moving as you're doing this perception roll.
Okay.
This is where you're working out. I need to do this.
Okay, that one's off. 11 or 13, so I'll take 13. Okay, so my perception is if I can make this stupid thing do what I want.
A number.
A 6, so that is 19.
Okay, looking at the horses, they are from the Emperor's personal guard of Theatus.
Meh.
You recognize the symbology on it. Not many people have seen it in person. It's basically his agents who track down people like deserters, as well as special missions for what they call them the Centaurum.
I'll lean over to, what's
Sorry.
that? You go, I think Drazzle took care of the Emperor's agents. Let's go.
Yeah.
Rapidly. And I might start moving. I'm suggesting that we move the symbols to where they're not easily visible.
Oh, the saddles, the saddlebags, the markings on the horse, they're all symbols of
Understand.
this. It's basically these horses themselves are prized because they're amongst the best horses that the Theatans breed. And that
Probably
they are
branded as
each horse is probably worth about 1,000 gold on the open
We're
market,
keeping it.
as they are considered the most enduring of all the horses they have. Only
Which
their
is-
captains or higher in the military get to ride one.
They're already after me.
Seriously,
So
no.
These would make good eating.
Oh no.
they would make good eating.
We'd actually be better off selling one, buying 5 less nice horses, and then eating them.
Or we just buy 5, keep these ones.
And,
buy
Just buy
5
a lot of
horses.
meals.
And these horses are never on the open market.
Yeah.
That's how rare they are.
They're already after me, so I don't mind.
Yeah.
I'll keep one.
Given what's going on, I don't think anyone's going to notice very much.
Well, I'll probably have to get new saddle on bags and that.
Well, yeah.
So
We
that
can cover them up.
so they are basically the equivalent
Just get
of
some
elite
blankets,
war
put 'em up.
horses.
Yeah, they're nice horses.
So yes, you take Druzzle around to where they're going, where you think it's close enough to the mausoleum, and he starts digging in some ritual symbols into the ground.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to climb up on the wall. once we get
He's
there.
setting up for what we're about to do. So we have escape horses ready to go.
Yep.
Does
We might
Jack
have to get-
Dimmer have any idea or understanding of the symbols he's drawing?
That's similar to some symbols you saw him draw for Luell earlier, when
Yeah.
Luell was doing his ritual.
Yep. So that point being the fact whether or not Jack Dimmer can assist in the development, or whether he's just going to be on watch. So
You'd think he'd be more on watch because
Happy with
Draconian
that?
still has no idea how the ritual works because Druzzle hasn't explained it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. So,
And
okay,
in
so
case it's
Tiger's then can
important-
take what's on the top of the wall, or
Yeah.
at least near the top of the wall particularly, and what's the actual surrounds outside the wall here.
Yeah, well, you can pretty well keep up to what Atruaghin is up to as well.
So
I know I could be on the wall as well, but I wonder
Yeah.
about what the actual terrain around here is the
it's mountain edge, so you can see on this bit it will start to rise up to go up the mountain slope.
Yeah.
So,
I was just going to say, if it is important, I always know which way is north, and I also can
Very
know
useful.
exactly the time of day, because I've got that stupid keyboard.
Yeah.
And I can also remember anything I've heard in the last month.
though,
Jack Dimmer will take
time
up
of day in the
the-
Hollow World is always amusing because it's always noon. No matter
Yes.
what time of day it is, it's noon.
Yes.
Awesome.
But he knows what time of day it is when it's noon.
Please don't remind me what that place.
Have you seen Iron Sky 2?
Yes,
And
Yes.
it's funny.
we get around to the east side before these guys going through the city get to the...
Easily because even if you had to go longer, it's a lot harder to move through city when you have to go between streets and figure out that people chasing you can be bad.
I'm going to set up some climbing ropes to make it easier.
Yep.
These guys have to make a quick
Cool.
exit over the wall.
Although you might want to think about whether or not there's any guards on the wall as well. The,
Are there guards on the wall?
There are, but they don't seem to care.
Jack Dimmer's going to take up a spot.
One of them even helps you up.
Sweet.
Well, here's the thing. You could often look. There's about to be some fun excitement happen. You get to watch.
Oh, I can
He's
say,
up-
isn't it your lunchtime? And I'll give him a few gold.
He's helping you up the wall saying, you know, the gates are open, just down the road there, you didn't have to come the wall.
Because of where the city is and the people that they are, people coming over the wall are more to be trusted than those coming through the doors.
That's really funny.
Because if they're coming over the wall, they're usually an honest raider or an honest
Plus,
thief.
the other thing is, well, the point of the wall we're climbing up is going to be closer to where we can either support them or give them a chance to
Yes.
get up over a rope and get out onto the
Exactly.
escape animals.
Yep.
Jack Dimmer's going to take up a spot effectively, like, just a hidden spot near the foothills type stuff, maybe 50 feet away or something.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
We got there a bit quicker.
You do find a
because we were
nice
outside the
spot
city
to
coming
hide that gives you even a view into the city from that vantage point.
Okay, and he's got his longbow ready, and he's watching the other terrain while Tychus is watching from above.
And you see that most of the guardsmen at this stage have decided, yes, this is a great time to go off and have some fun. So they start playing music, turn up their torches. You can hear them singing along the equivalent of show tunes.
Does everyone pull out puppets?
No.
I'll be keeping an eye around the mausoleum to make sure these guys aren't coming into an ambush or anything like that. So I want to actually have a good.
As you're looking down at the mausoleum, you see that there is one guy with what appears to be a rampant lion on his tunic with a glowing sword out, dressed in white.
Third night.
Yep. His sword glows with holy light.
I gesture to my companion who's hiding and go and to point.
But he is below the wall and out of sight of the archer from a distance.
Okay.
Yeah, how close to me is he?
He's probably about 10 foot out and 20 feet down.
Where am I, by the way?
You're going through the
Where
city
are
with
they?
these guys.
Yes.
Okay, I might
We're a few
slip
buildings
down
away
the
now.
wall.
It's just
and
if I
hide
had
near
been
him.
able to go
but
over there, I
not-
could have done.
I'm waiting for him to
Yeah.
move on these guys.
Give me a stealth roll as you do so.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
We'll probably be able to do that, but soon.
Oh my effing god, that had to happen.
You rolled a 1, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
There you go.
You do have a reroll.
Oh, do I? Yes, I think I shall use that.
One.
You have one reroll, and that's the reroll for the night.
Oh, that's better. That's, God. 19
19.
on the dice. And my stealth, I've actually got a really good stealth because I am a professional gambler. That would make it oh god, I would have made it a 14 for 1, but it's 29, that would make it 32.
32. Okay, so as you slide down there, you see he sort of turns his head slightly as you come down.
Wow.
And you can guarantee it wasn't the noise of your moving that made him turn towards you.
Mm-hmm.
You made no sound whatsoever, not even you could hear, but he seemed to sense you coming.
Okay, it wasn't a pro, like I was getting within. Okay.
Because the knights, they generally do have a lot of protection about them.
Yeah, I wasn't going like
Yeah,
he
you
was
could have
right
imagined
there. I
I
was
was
still
close.
like 10, 15 feet away from him. I was just
Yeah.
I'm getting in a position so that when they trigger their thing on these guys, I can actually get in.
He didn't turn towards you, but he did turn towards something moving. And it wasn't sound that gave you away.
Yeah.
Oh, because I must have gone to some protection.
He's got some detection
Right.
thing, or he's got just.
I'm just going to
range of
hide in
sense.
that place.
He got an indicator from the guard that helped him up the wall.
Hey, maybe we should push the guard down.
With Telecus pointing out something down on the outside of the wall,
Yep.
and then immediately jumping down.
Don't have
Jack
that
will
detection anymore.
move to the wall and go to climb up to actually
I
take the position on the wall.
think
Since
the
he's
item
already
you
involved.
gave that I had was Medallion of Thoughts. I don't think stops you from being detected. Or does it?
And the Medallion of Thoughts allows you to detect other people's thoughts.
Yes.
Amulet of Mind Shielding stops your thoughts being
Oh,
detected.
sure.
It's the amulet of non-detection, which is rather chunky for someone at our level.
Yeah,
It's the
okay.
one you really want.
Okay, so as you're waiting there, you have Drachnomir get to the wall above you, looking down. Drachnomir, you can see that there is this appeared to be a knight with the rampant lion as his symbology, standing before the mausoleum entrance with a glowing sword.
Mhm.
So somehow these pricks knew where the item was.
And at that point, we will have Luell is moving through the streets.
Mm-hmm.
As you're moving through the streets, you've got Payne with you with his sword,
Yeah.
and everyone's moving out of Payne's way. No one seems to be able to stand within the light without actually running.
Don't worry, I don't like it either.
Yes,
If you're the two rogue went off without the light.
yes, but that's the thing though, you're running towards them and they're going, shit, guy with glowing sword, get away from it.
As you see, anyone who's in the light for too long starts twitching.
Oh.
Starts to what, sorry?
Twitch.
Don't say that because panel start
But we haven't
following him
noticed
around.
playing pictures all the time.
Yeah. Ah, dear.
As as Payne is basically creating this big bubble for you, moving through the city.
Yes, you're running around with a big bubble of law in a city that's basically full of chaotics.
Chaotics who are bound by laws.
Yes.
So yes,
So-
it takes you a little while, but eventually you see the mausoleum in sight, and you see what appears to be a paladin with a sword drawn standing in front of the mausoleum.
Oh, wonderful fun.
Hello, idiot, you should move.
He does not respond, and I'm quickly going to go to the bathroom while you think about how you'd like to deal with that.
Are you deaf?
Thank you.
So now you have directly called out this knight who has not responded to you whatsoever.
Yes. Well, the first thing I'm going to do once I get within
So
range.
this is a knight, is it?
Yes,
yes.
it's one of the Helldanik Knights. The first thing I'm going to do once I get within range isn't going to be a damage spell.
So he's not moving.
I'm just gonna
No.
point out, you know that there are 3 after you. There is 1 standing here.
Yes.
Where are the other 2?
He's
Well,
being
one's-
bait. Yes, you're quite right.
What about you and your trident? You could do a distance go.
Yeah, but like,
I
Yeah.
hope you guys are ready
I
for
don't like
laugh,
glowy
by the
sword go
way.
after glowy sword. I got a glowy
yeah,
sword too,
certainly.
but like, theirs
Always
are
go
more
for
glowy.
Yeah.
I have the what is it? The lightsaber. Do that thing. Sun blade.
The sunblade.
Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, I could try to take
I was just thinking,
But,
the
like,
distance.
I was gonna say
Distance.
their swords much more glowy. So.
Yes.
Oh. I can probably sneak attack this mother.
Well,
Yes, you could.
I know I can
Particularly
pull
if one of us
lightning.
distracts him first.
Well, I'm going to use a bonus action to try
Yeah.
attempt my ability insightful fighting, which means
But I
I'm
don't know
treated
what
as having
the-
advantage.
Oh,
Defensive,
nice.
protective.
I don't get
Yeah.
advantage
Things will be
necessarily,
fine.
but I'll
Yeah.
be treated as advantage for the purposes of my one sneak
That's
attack
the thing.
around.
Yeah. Yes, you get the sneak attack from having advantage. Yeah.
So,
the thing
what's
is,
your
if
plan?
My spell actually works. You can ignore him for a minute.
What's your plan to do? As your pain calls out, idiot move.
Yes. Well,
Oh, yeah.
Pain is
Martin,
Yep.
you're marking him.
Payne hocks the sword at the guy's chest.
He throws the sword.
Yep. Just
Okay.
shoot double-handed from his back over the head, directly
I'm-
at his chest.
I'm presuming Payne's not much of a swordsman.
No. He also doesn't care about this stupid sword.
Even though it's got his soul in it.
Yeah, look, he never really liked that so much anyway.
Just get away.
He wasn't using it. Yeah.
I'm sure you get a bit.
Well, it wasn't steering him towards any sort of morality, that was for sure.
That's hilarious.
Okay, so Pain throws the sword. I will give Pain a attack roll with disadvantage for throwing the sword.
How far away are we at the moment?
Probably say you were about 100 feet, but he can close in to throw it.
Yeah, well, he's closing in to throw it.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
following
no, I
him.
was assuming you were
Because-
closing in to like
yeah,
30 feet or so.
Yeah, because what I want to do
Mhm.
is 60-foot range.
Mhm.
So I'm going to move to that range.
Alright, do him first.
No, you're throwing that.
You're initiating the attack.
Yeah, you managed to dash forward and do that before anyone else gets an action.
Just
Yes.
a quick
The sword pulled
clarification.
you along.
This is a second Helldanik Knight,
Right.
not the one that
Hang on a sec.
Tolopus.
That's the same one.
It's the same one.
It's the
That's
same
dark, so I
one.
rolled a 20,
Yeah.
but also a 10.
Yeah, we've basically just approached the same guy from the other side.
Right.
Is it possible simultaneously while this is happening that Lonnie can keep a lookout for 2 other
Mhm.
knights?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was going to say, can I
Yeah, you-
also be looking out for the other?
You
Yeah,
can.
that's what
So
I
you two can make perception rolls.
So explicitly percepting.
So as you see this sword go flying, it goes end over end, and then it goes point right through the knight standing before the mausoleum door and embeds itself in the door itself.
Right, so it's
Um,
an illusion.
And the knight looks directly at Luell and winks, and he recognizes the face.
Who is it?
Loki. As the form just dissipates.
Loki's fucking with us. Let's get into the mausoleum.
He messes with everyone. Who's going to come to this door with a guy with a glowing sword
Yeah.
standing in front of it like a
Except
big
us.
hero?
Yeah.
So, what you're
And-
telling me is that as far as Payne knows, he just killed and sent something to another realm.
He did, yes.
Well, we get him first, so maybe
No, no.
not, but
He winked
what
it.
you can
No,
press
he
is
winked it.
behind the
No,
sword and
Jeremy,
the
Jeremy, he winked at me.
Yeah.
and you're also behind him, aren't you?
I'm
Yeah,
behind.
That was a flinch. You
Well,
were
true.
confused.
It's
Personally, like Jack Dimmer was looking for the wall saying, okay, hell hell of a good throw.
Yeah.
He believes you actually got it.
Yeah.
Lonnie rolled poorly on her perception, I think because she was just so offended at Payne using this weapon incorrectly. I'm just like, that's not what that's for. I got the other ones if you want that. If you want something for throwing, I got the ones for throwing. That is not for throwing.
And as you say that, you watch the mausoleum door open with the sword stuck in it, as if he had unlocked it with the toss.
I can just imagine though, this absolute stick of a sickly man pulls out this sword that's almost as big as he is,
Yeah.
pops it over his head and embeds it into a door.
And the door then opens.
I feel with you, Brett.
Yeah, I'm really impressed. That's a nice sword. And a good throw.
And then it just fades and appears on his back.
Cool.
I can't find my front page.
You can't throw your soul away that easily.
No. Yeah, that's staying with you.
I can try.
You want to go and grab the
Oh, no. We're moving forward. I'm not slowing down.
I can't find the page that has all my things on.
Yeah, no,
Straight
Payne
forward.
does not lose, does not stop a step, he just continues on.
I'm just going to follow you straight into the into the mausoleum.
We'll get the rope ready to get everybody out of the wall.
Yes.
Okay, you all rush in.
Like mad moves.
Jack Dinner staying on the wall, watching for followers.
Anything. Yes.
+7 based on my previous sheet.
Okay.
I'm gathering it wouldn't have changed.
Shouldn't have changed too much.
And I'll stay in Overwatch position too, but it's on the ground.
Okay, so as Llewell and Payne rush in, Payne's light off his sword, giving lots of notice of what's going on.
Yep.
24.
You also realize that everything in that light magic will not start.
Oh. Okay.
So he cannot actually cast magic while the sword's out.
As long as I'm... What's the range on that?
It's about 30 feet.
Bloody hell.
On the plus side,
It has
the
uses.
Dragons might not go off, or will definitely go off, one of the two.
You have that realization as you're sort of moving, which is why a lot of people were flinching and having trouble, was anything magic that was helping them was suddenly switched off.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, that can be quite painful, especially when replacement eyes, replacement ears, replacement limbs are all part of the setting.
And if anyone's got a replacement heart, they're toast.
Yep.
Damn.
It's a little rude.
You.
So, I would have 24.
It'd be way
You got a 24. You don't notice anything coming in your direction because apparently everyone has cleared out of this region. After seeing someone with a big glowing sword come through, shutting down all magic in the way.
Yeah. That's a point. Going down the street and having sort of illusory signs on shop fronts going, blink.
Yeah, all behind you there are no lights in the city in the direction you came.
Because it's not just... It's
Ah,
permanently shut down and continual lights used for street lighting.
Normally,
and the night don't be able to follow you because it's dark.
Yes.
normally when an anti-magic field comes through stuff, it comes back on again unless it comes out.
Not this one.
You've got no light behind whatsoever. It's like it's
So the
eating magic.
items are no longer working. Ever. Again.
Yes. Also, yeah. Also, my med's
Mine, what?
Not while you've got the sword out, but when you put the sword away,
I mean, technically the sword is away.
I mean, but
It is now.
I say when you pull the sword out and it lights up, when it reappeared away on your back.
Yeah.
Yes. Definitely something to remember. Definitely something to use.
And you didn't notice any of your magic failing when you had it out either.
Good.
But mine all turned off.
Anyone else's turned off.
It's powered by your soul. You can keep your own naked going.
See, the sword likes you
Yes.
at the moment.
Yeah, no, but like, it doesn't affect me, it only affects you.
Yes. And I'm presuming you're quite happy with the idea.
I mean, yeah.
That's a dumb question.
It wasn't a question. It was a statement. Anyway, into the mausoleum.
Okay,
Moving
step.
at speed in case any one of 3 Haldonic Knights turn up because the other one was a fake.
As you move in, you see that there are what appear to be people dressed in black around a casket with weapons drawn, looking in your direction.
Okay.
They appear to be guarding the chest,
Mm-hmm.
looking at you.
Do they look like Thieves Guild types, or?
Well, none of them look like they're particularly skilled in any shape or form. They all look very mundane and almost like nondescript, as if if you glance away, you probably wouldn't even notice they were there.
So they're guild members,
Do they look
and
scared?
far more dangerous than you think.
They do not look scared at all. You don't really notice how they look. They just happen to be standing there when
Yep.
you're looking closely.
Yeah. Hi, we won the
Yeah.
auction. Check with your boss.
Okay, give me a persuasion roll.
$22.
Okay, they look in your direction. They nod, and then they just seem to fade into the shadows behind, leaving this box, which doesn't appear to have a lock on it.
Mm-hmm.
Check it.
Oh, yeah. Check the box out.
Okay, you can feel the heat coming from the box.
Right.
It's sealed in wax, but it actually feels like it's an inferno in a box.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like what we're after.
Does
Does this look like what was described as the thing casing it? Okay, cool. So this is what we're after. So don't put it in my bag of holding.
Yes. Very
Even though my
simple.
bag of holding is not a standard extra-dimensional space, it's still an extra-dimensional.
How big's this chest?
This chest is big enough to hold, say, about 1.5 size of a basketball.
So it's not huge, but it's big enough it's a 2-hand load.
Okay, yeah, so it's bulky but not necessarily
Yeah.
unwieldy.
Yeah, it's about that big.
And it is heavy.
Mm.
Because basically it's been filled with water on
Yeah.
top of the
We've
orb.
got a rope to help us get it over the
Oh, yeah.
wall.
Yes.
Once the person on top of the wall throws it down.
Yes. We do have the interesting thing of... actually, you're the strong one.
I'm the strong one, and we
So-
two previous sailors, we can create like a net
Yep,
thing so
we
that we
can
can easily
do the-
transport those.
Yep, we can do the carry thing and all the rest of that.
Yeah.
So let's do that and move fast.
And I'll be the last one up because I think I
Yep.
can climb the best.
Oh yeah, you can definitely climb faster than anyone else.
Yep.
So yes, as you watch, you see that they bring out this chest that, as it comes out of the mausoleum, you can actually see it shimmer.
Yep.
The actual chest itself is shimmering.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
I will say, by the way,
what we're
it's-
after.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot lighter than it would be if it was full of treasure.
Actually, you think treasure would be lighter.
No. If this was full of gold coins, it'd weigh about 6 times as much.
You think the orb itself is...
The orb itself
It's
would have
dense.
its own weight.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
It,
yes,
it's
it
not.
was- it
It's
was
not
just the
designed
water.
to be moved.
So it's more than just the water weight.
Mm.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Oh.
It's very unwieldy because
It's-
as it moves about, it moves the whole box moves unevenly.
Just
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not particularly
Yeah.
strong being a dragon.
No.
Because as the orb moves, one side of the box goes from being balanced to being extremely heavy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It wants to be dropped.
Yes.
Strength of
At this
14
point-
plus 2, is that
At
particularly
14
pretty
is
good.
is
Good.
is stronger than average.
Can I carry the chest?
With
Well,
the help of Lani, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not something that you'd want to try to carry on your own.
Yeah,
No.
no. But if I
But the
hold
other
up
thing
the
is,
back
if you
portion
hold it at an angle,
at the front.
it's not going to move anywhere.
as
Because
they're
it's already
moving, I'm
sitting
going
in
to
the bottom.
slip around so between
yeah.
them and anybody else coming. But I'm staying hidden
Mm.
and I'm keeping an eye out.
Mhm.
And hopefully they'll get over the wall. Like
Yep.
I said, looks like I
So
can
you're
climb
off
the
the
wall
front,
fairly
are
quickly
you in the
without
back?
the rope.
Yeah.
Okay, you can hear the sound of battle further in the city.
Fun.
Move it, guys.
And it sounds like chanting. Go, Jeremy.
Is there anything visible from the top of the wall?
You can see what appears to be some sort of duel going off with magic effects and
fun.
light and sounds of metal on metal.
But it's not within a few hundred yards of us right now.
It is not. But Llewell
That's good enough
thinks
for me then.
basically someone is following the astral orb that he's had a vision of.
Right. I will mention that to people so they know what's going on.
So, oh no, we don't want to have the sword out near it because I mean, it could
No.
hide the astral thing, but it could also detonate. And
Yeah. Yes. Having that sword out near this box would be just about as bad as me dimension dooring with it.
Yep.
stuff. Well, we don't know that for a fact, but let's not risk it.
It's a reasonable assumption to make. I don't mind if we find out we're wrong later. Let's make that assumption, not do the sword thing.
Okay.
So, yes, do rope tie around box thing and over the wall stuff with people doing climbing things.
Like I said, I'm waiting till last.
Yeah.
I'm holding the rear because I can get out the wall
Okay.
fairly quickly.
So you're going to tie up the rope. I'll give you a survival roll for the person who ties up the rope to make sure it can get over the wall.
Who's good at the survivals? You.
Lani can do that.
I can do that. Ooh. Does that count? It does. It landed straight. Damn it. I have everything. So.
The two sailor
14.
types. Good at knots.
Okay, so you believe you've got this nice and strong and tied.
Can I have Solicus check my work?
You could.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to try to have a look while I'm hidden.
Yep.
Okay, that's a 10 on the dice.
It's probably gonna be better than what I got. So.
I don't know, I'm going to check my survival.
You might not have much in survival.
Oh, true.
But I am a sailor, if that helps. But she's a sailor too.
She is.
I also have proficiency in everything.
So that was survival.
Mm-hmm.
That was a 12.
Wow, so Solicus is like.
He thinks you've done a better job than he could.
But I do have this. I have sleight of hand, though.
So you could make it so that it unravels quickly if you wish to.
Okay, good point.
Yes, it's going to unravel as soon as it gets to the top of the wall. Bonk.
Whew.
So yes.
Few seconds before it explodes. Okay, so I'm
You-
just like, dude, it looks good. What do you think? Yeah, good. So getting this over the wall. Trying to think of the most realistic way of doing it.
Basically, you've got ropes. You've got yourself set up. You've got very
I
people
could also
doing it.
fly the ropes over the wall and
Yeah.
provide leverage.
So the dragon can fly you up to the top now that you've got it tied up. It's easier to fly you up than it is to try to fly the box over.
It's only 20 feet. It's not like it's real serious.
Yeah, it's not that bad. Yeah.
And
Like, can,
At least 20 feet on this
try
side.
making Caltrix fly me while I
Don't carry it.
hold.
Yeah. She gets you up the top of the wall. You just lift it up.
you've already got ropes dangling.
Yep, there you go.
Thanks to Tolicus and to Dracnomir, both of them had said that they were doing things with ropes.
Yes, technically.
And so you managed to pick it up and get it up onto the wall itself. You see the runes glowing with a bright red light on the ground outside.
Definitely need to get that
Where?
to British.
Where's Drizzle?
That's
But-
the glory roots.
And you see his cart has the rear door open with what appears to be sky visible through it.
Yeah.
Go for a strike.
Okay. This is something new. We've never seen to the back of this cart before.
Still haven't.
We
because-
didn't know. Well, actually, once we got up on the wall, yeah, we didn't know you could actually open the door. It's just sort of it used to be you just throw people at it and they disappear.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the doors opened and it was blackness behind it before.
This is the first. Some people have seen that. Some people have not seen it open. So he has been very selective of who actually sees inside it.
Yes. Usually.
But Dracula
Right, this is
will
new.
call down to Draxel and confirm, do you want it lowered down into the circle or outside the circle?
Drizzle just says hurry.
Yep.
Okay.
So, we climb up.
As the
Or other
chest
things.
reaches the top of the wall, the wax has melted off.
What does that mean?
Yeah, it means-
The seal to the box is gone.
It means it's getting hotter and hotter.
We're
It means
hurrying.
It's getting hotter, which means you
Can
don't
I
have a lot
fly
of
it that
time.
last little bit?
You could do a basically the equivalent of a parachute landing, holding onto it, but you couldn't fly it.
Can I
Can,
try that to
can
get
it-
it there
can
on
it be
time?
So
can
yeah.
it get to Drazzle
With that, yes.
in one go?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
I
you
will
can
do this.
So yeah, you fly down like this.
So by the
Not
time
velocity,
you
it's
reach the bottom, you're no longer holding a chest. You're holding a fiery orb. Because
Hopefully
everything
the
else is
dragon
burnt
helps.
away in that time.
Do I get it to wherever
And you
Drazzle
land in a
wants it?
cloud of steam.
Well, you get it to the point of hand it
Is
to
Drazzle
Drazzle.
giving me any
Dra-
direction?
Drazzle is waiting there for you.
I drop it into his hands? I presume he's holding his hands
Yes.
out?
He does hold his hands out.
Mhm.
And you see him hand it to what appears to be Drazzle's hands in the doorway.
Okay. I'm not surprised by this by now. I met
Okay.
Drazzle.
I
in
really want
old
to
and
be
young
on
form.
top of the wall to watch this.
Mm-hmm.
So,
You are on
because
top
I
of the
wanna
wall
see
at this stage,
Oh, good.
yes.
Right, so we're doing that.
You managed, because the rest of you
Yes.
have gotten up there. You see Drazzle
Okay, cool.
hand it what appears to be himself in what appears to be something that's free falling. Because you can see the world around spinning through the doorway.
Oh.
And what appears to be the biggest air fleet you've ever seen in existence.
Oh, he's gonna make
And
that
suddenly,
Oh,
as he passes the orb through, everything on the other side of the thing just burns.
Mhm.
There is fire everywhere as far as the eye can see as the door just winks out.
And I turn to face into the city.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you and good night.
Yeah.
And then
So-
dimension door off the wall down to where Drazzle is.
That's the... Once that's all in there, Drazzle's
Are you
hands
still
are free
within local
and
grip
closes
when
up.
you're on the wall?
He does close the
Alex
door.
offers Drazzle
Yes, but I think you'll give me this one.
a big, long, proper...
Let's get the flock out of here.
Yes.
and slips him a chocolate cookie.
Oh, definitely chocolate cookie.
He is very grateful for the cookie. You do notice that his hands are badly burned.
Can my cookie have some sort of healing properties? I have a little bit of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I know I'm kind of jigging it. You've been really nice to me.
Well, he's a healer himself, but yeah, it's nice for you to do that.
Well, I
he's
do
grateful.
have healing spells. I do have
Yeah.
the capacity to do it.
So,
But
so-
strictly by Martin's rules, I should have prepared that earlier, and
yeah,
that's
but
why I'm asking for
if you do the healing spell as you're handing him the cookie, you get the same effect.
Yeah, I could I do that?
Yes, you can, yes.
Yeah. Because I don't want
Out of
to,
here.
Okay, so
change too much.
as you're getting off the wall, the last thing Luel does is he feels like a nudge as he turns around and he sees what appears to be 3 knights in combat with spellcasters throwing spells he can't even dream of and holding their own.
So they're fighting Glantrians.
You think they're fighting the Alphatians.
Oh.
And
Okay.
the sort of magic they're throwing is the sort of magic that
Seriously high level shit.
it's stuff that you believe you've heard of, but it's stretching your imagination that someone can actually throw that level of magic, let alone deflect it.
I'm really glad I'm not in that.
They're throwing off
Look,
possible male
it's no
contention.
Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, it's well, that's the thing. It's advanced grade wizards with bloody prestige classes on them.
But what it also means is that if that the guard at the front of the mausoleum had been real,
It would have been. We would have been.
Dracula's normal bow with normal arrow may not have done a lot of damage.
No, which is one of the reasons why what I was going to do was displacement, which is if he fails a save, he's out of it for a minute.
And you also
Yeah,
notice
okay.
that they seem to be coordinated, that the knights are coordinating in such a way that their magic is enhancing each other.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it's
So
it's a
what
style
you're
that
saying
Lani
is
would
that
basically.
also powerful being.
That's what we're hearing. Yeah.
So it's the sort of thing Lani has trained her entire life to even come close to, and these guys are pulling it off.
Yeah. And you'd
Yeah.
need 2 other people with your level of training too.
Exactly. It's
And-
called
and then
no one
another-
else is on my level.
Yeah.
If I meet a master greater than me, it's awesome, but never would there be 3 people of this level
Yeah.
working in tandem. So
Yes.
that's insane.
We can,
And
we can
and
work
using
something
magic
else
at the same time.
And using
Yeah.
magic. I barely use magic.
Yeah, well, that's the thing.
This
If
is
we
insane.
train together properly, we can do that sort of thing, but it's going to take a lot of work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, but let's do this talking while we're on the move.
And these are the 3 that you know are chasing you.
Yeah. So...
Why don't we just let the evangelist kill them?
Boom!
Okay, bye.
Yeah, we run for our lives.
Okay, so yes, you managed to get on some really nice horses.
Mm-hmm.
Can I
Salty
just
blood's
turn?
fine.
Oh no, I'm not. I don't need a horse. Well, do I need a horse?
Well, a horse means it's a lot less effort for you to ride.
Sure.
But you can also sit on the cart with Drazzle.
Can I sit on the cart with Dresden?
You can, yes.
Probably
Okay.
Eep comes out and Eep has her little puppet
Mhm.
who goes back on as we take off.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, no, it's more like back on, as in
Mhm.
Yes.
And always flexing with the left arm because Gorm uses the right arm.
Yes.
Yes.
Your barista can use your horse. We bugger off at speed.
So are you heading
Green
further
waffle.
into the northern reaches or you're heading towards Yellow?
That's a very good question.
Because you have the choice of going either way.
Let's head for a port.
You are in the middle of a bunch of mountains. The closest port is heading further into...
I was gonna say that's going north, isn't it?
Which is
Well,
where
where
the
was that-
ship was going to be waiting for us.
Yeah, where was our planned next place?
Yeah.
Well,
This
so
was
the point was that our plan was to go further into the kingdom of Osland, Vestland, or the Islands,
Yep.
if it wasn't actually in this first spot.
Yes.
So we did
But it's-
have a ship that was going to meet us at Sonderford.
So as the overview of the map here, you guys
Yep.
are down at this point here.
Right,
It's
so...
Sonderford.
Sonderford would be our
But
closest one.
but having said that, I have a vague thought that when we were on our way from Yalaran to Castellan, we actually saw something on the way that was we thought about coming back for.
You saw many things on the way that you thought
We
about going back
noticed
for.
giants.
There are giants in the mountains nearby.
Yeah. That's going back south towards Yalaran. Whereas our nearest port would be Sonderwood.
Yeah.
So the nearest port is technically Bonifed, which is on the river.
Yeah.
Though you've got to pass through the Great Marsh to get there. And the Great Marsh is said to be the home of Baba Yaga.
Is Baba Yaga one of our quests?
Baba Yaga is
I know who Baba Yaga is.
is not one of your quests,
Yeah.
and is generally not the friend of travelers.
Yes, so
Or
maybe
maybe
not
well,
Baba
it's-
Yaga.
We're avoiding her is the thing.
Yeah.
So and she has grown more active. Is one of the rumors that has passing through town.
Mm-hmm. Everything is becoming more active. So
Everything is becoming more active.
Yeah.
All the quiet horrors of the world have woken
Yeah.
just in time.
Yalaran. I'd expect the place where the object for the quest isn't there. Or the quest object that every year.
Yeah, Yalarum always has people are hunting for relics out of Yalarum because Yalarum has things that no longer exist.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of things that no longer exist.
And I think actually, potentially we also had a vague thought that the Devastation Orb might have been one of the items this year, so it might have been also a thought going through. But, yeah.
Maybe one of the other bits.
They do not have much in the way of money or options, but they could provide things very few other people do.
Oh yeah.
As the Yalarum people have access to genies.
Yeah, but that's the thing. 1,500 gold and a promise of stuff. Could have been their bid. So
Did I get any damage from the orb?
No, because you held it and you had the protection of its contents before you handed it over.
Okay.
yeah, right up to the point all the water ran out.
which was basically it running out of time.
Yeah.
Because the people who got the bid didn't have a home.
Yeah.
But we got
So,
there.
So Loki always has a price.
Yes. General thing with
So
gods.
where did we
Do that.
decide we're heading? We had like 5 different
Well, that was the thing. Yeah.
things that we were considering we wanted to head towards.
So currently you can either head deeper into the northern reaches and see what you can find there, or you can head into Yalarum and avoid much of because the Haldanic Knights rarely go south.
What about south then?
Because
Unless anyone objects.
the northern border of the northern reaches is the Haldanic territories.
Right.
So between where you are and the north is where they will head next, if that's if they're heading
So
home.
not moving towards the Haldanics is a good idea right now.
That's why I
So
thought
let's-
I'd put that down as a
That's
specific thing.
Very good point. Let's
Go the other way then.
let us go Yalarum then,
Okay.
and
So-
clean the horses up when we take a rest.
Okay.
The horses are probably like that.
Well, the Yalarum people will not care about the branding of your horses. Their horses are different,
Yeah.
more desert in style and such.
Yeah.
And the ones that do recognise where the horses come from would probably would reward you for the sake that you're actually riding stuff that their hated enemy has.
Yeah, it's good for our reputations.
Yes.
Still going to get.
Which Tollicus would also know that it is a badge of honour for amongst a lot of the thieves to be riding these sort of horses.
and getting away with it.
Just not in the territory of the Theatans.
That would be bad.
I'm just hoping that we don't have to deal with them.
Yeah, we're still going to get horse blankets, thin horse blankets, for the horses themselves, and we'll get someone to put some sort of cover over the saddles, the markings on the saddles and the saddlebags.
Yeah, you'll be able to work on that in your travels.
Yeah.
Plenty of time for that.
Oh yeah.
Okay. They might be fine horses, but they're no elk.
That is true. They are no elks.
Yes.
They probably don't taste as good as elk.
No, Jeremy's character is used to riding giant elk.
Yes. And
I was
yeah,
gonna say.
well,
Do I
considering
have
how
gloves?
big a normal
Yeah,
elk
my
is-
gloves, I think, are up here.
Do you want to swap and try these
Yeah.
out? I think you like them.
Maybe a bit later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, you do find that the travel is rather quiet because anything that was chasing you seems to have been caught up in whatever's happening in the city, because you
Oh,
can see
good.
what appears to be a storm behind you.
Given the fight that was going on, I'm not entirely surprised. I'm also not entirely surprised that they're being kept because it's fun, because Loki likes watching them.
And
That may
you
also be part of it.
and you think the reason you got away with it was because you played into Loki's plan.
That was the idea. That was the idea of that last move.
Yeah, like,
Yes.
thank you and good luck. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
First
I was playing to the audience the whole time.
Having been scolded once by her dragon god already for not regularly checking in, Calcrix catches up on her prayers / narration to her dragon god about all the things that have been going on, and has Eat demonstrate her new puppet.
Bye, God.
And I might finish up early for tonight at that
Okay.
point. It gives me a chance to work on where to take you next.
Absolutely.
Because I actually did have a couple of fights prepared that would have been appropriate depending on where you went.
Yes.
But you actually
We
made
solved it.
you made a bid that they were happy with
Yeah.
an outcome that meant that Loki was happy with it.
Yep. And that was the idea of my whole thrust of this is the presentation. Loki's going to like this. He's watching us do this.
And most of the others
Yeah.
would not have accepted the Loki's drink
Yeah.
because the paladins would
Because
not
I was
touch
smarter
it.
than that.
Yeah. Well, they're religious fanatics. They're not going to touch it with a barge pole.
Well, they couldn't.
no,
That they were
true,
literally
actually, they wouldn't.
unable to even grasp it if they tried.
Yeah.
That their religion is such that they cannot pick up someone else's holy symbol.
Yes. Yes.
And what I mean,
Whereas-
it's not because they're fanatical. It's because their
Yes.
god does not share.
Yes. Yes. Whereas Elsendal, yeah, he's one, a bit more tolerant, and two, it's the wise thing to allow to happen right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the other thing I'm curious as to, has anyone got notes of the travel that we did from, like, through Yalara initially, like when we actually jumped into the Night River in Bridge to get to Yalara and then went north?
Yeah.
I have a mental note that, like, I've got a vague memory of that. Oh yes, as we were travelling north, something happened. We said, oh, we haven't got time to look at that right now because we've got to get this devastation.
Wasn't there that weird tower?
There was a weird tower, I believe.
Yeah.
Yes, the weird tower
In the lake.
In the lake, yes.
That's
Yeah.
what I think of, yes.
That was two sessions. That was the last
one.
session I was at.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that might be something that is
definitely worth looking at.
potentially there's one to look at on the way back.
And
Yes.
that meant we had time to set up and do and figure out what we're going to do with that.
Yep.
Instead of just trying to off the cuff remember where that weird tower came from, because I have so many source books and it's in one of those.
Yes.
Also, as
That's
a
why I bring it
reminder,
up now with the idea that if we do go down that pathway, you've got time to prepare, Mark.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, and also reminder for Llewellyn, Calcrix.
Yeah.
You signed a paper saying sorry we missed you to meet with the Sultan. So
Yes.
if we do get to Yalaram,
We're going to do that, yes.
we gotta go meet with the Sultan.
Because
Didn't
to
we
not
meet
do
with
so would be very
someone,
rude.
though?
You went to go meet with
You
the
met
Sultan.
you met with Drezel.
Drezel.
You met with a
But
different
we
version of
also
Drezel.
Yeah.
Have a
Was
good
Drezel
night,
the Sultan?
and I will
No,
see
it's
you
a
tomorrow night or next week.
I will see you tomorrow night online, and we'll
I think-
also see David online tomorrow night.
Yeah.
They're in that game, so they got to see why their destruction of the Alphatian air fleet was so extreme. Does that make a bit more sense for you now, Jeremy?
Yeah. Oh, you know, I was going to go to David the idea. I'm right. So what I'm hearing now is that all that effort we went into on that one was totally irrelevant.
No. No,
we
you...
were like Indiana Jones invading from Lost Ark.
Basically, yes. You were being effective right... You're being effective right at the point where Druzzle dropped a nuke on them.
Well, they'd already started off a fire. They basically rammed their ship into a Gnomish airship that then fell into a fuel supply, and all this sort of stuff going off while they were free falling.
So it's all perfectly useful, right up to the point where you were trumped by Drazzle showing off.
And then at one point they found that it was raining fire around them.
Oh.
So that was actually in the story without me adding the Devastation Orb in there. It was raining fire everywhere.
Yeah, now you know why.
Is now the party should go to Alphasia and demand our aid. Because we were at the Alphasia nations. We
Right.
could never take Alphasia for them. Just like they wanted.
And that was law. Yes.
I'm not sure that would fly.
No.
Anyway,
Plus-
have a good
plus-
night, all. Thanks very much.
Plus, that would
Oh,
also
good.
be a flag for the Alphatians saying, "Here is your target, boys. These are the ones who destroyed your fleet."
Yes. But okay, not that we know that, and not the Mage know what happened.
No.
Everyone's blissfully ignorant.
Yes,
But I thought
it's a good thing for everybody.
I thought I'd let some of the players be able to connect the dots so that they would understand why some things were happening.
Oh yeah.
So thank you very much, Jeremy. I will see you tomorrow night.
Will do. Bye for now.
Bye.
Pain was fun.